I used to think leadership was not meant for people like me. I never enjoyed being the center of attention, and crowded meetings drained me. I preferred listening over talking, thinking before speaking, and connecting deeply rather than widely. In a world that praises loud voices, I felt invisible. I believed I had to fake confidence, act extroverted, and force my way into leadership roles. But with time, I discovered something powerful, that introverts lead differently, and sometimes even better. Our strengths are hidden, not missing. We lead with calm, with focus, with depth. And today, I don't lead despite being an introvert. I lead because I'm an introvert. And truthfully, I lead better than many extroverts I've worked with. Let me tell you why. We've been told since childhood that leaders are always the loud ones. The people who speak up first, take charge in every room, and love being in the spotlight. Whether it's school, the workplace, or social media, the idea is everywhere: if you're not bold, loud, and outgoing, you can't be a real leader. And honestly, I believed that for a long time. As an introvert, I always felt like I was doing something wrong. I wasn't the loudest in the room. I did not enjoy speaking just to be heard. I liked to listen, think things through, and then speak when it actually mattered. But because I was not loud, people assumed I did not have leadership potential. But here's what I've learned. Real leadership is not about being loud. It's about being clear, calm, and intentional. It's about earning trust, not demanding attention. And introverts are actually really good at that. We lead in a quieter way. We focus more, think deeper, and speak with meaning. When things go wrong, we don't panic. We stay steady. While others talk, we listen. And that's powerful. So no, being quiet does not mean you can't lead. It means you have a different kind of strength. A strength most people overlook. And once you understand that, everything changes. The 5 introvert strengths that create powerful leaders. Not everyone notices the introvert in the room right away, and that's exactly where the magic begins. Introverts don't walk in expecting attention. They don't crave being liked by everyone. What they do crave is meaning. In conversations, in decisions, in relationships. That focus on depth makes them intentional leaders. Every word they say, every move they make, usually has thought and purpose behind it. And when you're leading people, that kind of focus is everything. One thing that sets introverts apart as leaders is their ability to observe silently, but act powerfully. While others are busy talking, introverts are watching. They're picking up on who's uncomfortable, who's confident, who's resisting change, and who's not being heard. That silent awareness becomes their secret advantage. It allows them to understand the people around them better, sometimes even better than those people understand themselves. Introverts also tend to think long-term. They're rarely interested in shortcuts, praise, or superficial wins. Instead, they focus on building solid foundations, systems that work, people who grow, teams that trust each other. They're less interested in being right and more interested in doing what's wise. And that's exactly what a strong leader needs to do. Think beyond today and make decisions that still make sense a year from now. Another underrated strength of introverted leaders is their ability to recharge and reflect. After a long day of meetings or tough decisions, they often need solitude to reset. And in that quiet space, they gain clarity. Many extroverted leaders keep running on momentum, but introverts slow down to ask, did I handle that right? What could have been better? How is my team actually feeling? That habit of reflection helps them grow constantly. It makes their leadership less reactive and more grounded. They're not just trying to lead better teams, they're trying to become better people in the process. Also, introverts lead with authenticity. They're not trying to fit into a mold or copy what leadership is supposed to look like. Most of them already know they don't fit the typical image, and that frees them from pretending. They don't inflate themselves to look important. They stay grounded in who they are, and people can feel that. In a world full of performance, authenticity stands out. And here's something important. Introverts don't lead for validation, they lead for purpose. They don't need to be clapped for every day. They just want to know their work matters. That quiet drive, that internal motivation, pushes them forward even when no one's watching. That's what makes them consistent, reliable, unshakable. While others burn out trying to impress, introverts preserve their energy to create real results. And over time, their work speaks louder than any speech ever could. So if you're an introvert, stop thinking you need to change who you are to lead. The truth is, your natural wiring might be exactly what the world needs more of. Calm leadership, quiet strength, deep understanding, and long-term vision. You don't have to raise your voice to raise the standard. Sometimes, the quietest one in the room is the one carrying the most powerful voice. They just choose to use it when it really matters. Leadership doesn't always wear a loud voice or walk with a spotlight. In fact, some of the most respected and quietly powerful figures in history were introverts, who led in their own way. Take Princess Diana, for example. She wasn't loud, but her presence was powerful. Her gentle nature, emotional intelligence, and quiet empathy made her one of the most beloved public figures in modern history. She didn't lead with force, she led with heart. Now think of Keanu Reeves, a global icon, admired not just for his roles but for his humility and quiet lifestyle. Despite being in the spotlight, he keeps to himself, avoids unnecessary fame, and treats people with deep respect. He's proof that introverts can lead, simply by example, with kindness and calm. Then there's Zayn Malik, former One Direction star. Even at the peak of fame, he chose mental peace over the pressure of always performing. He's soft-spoken, introverted, and creative, and yet millions still follow him. Not because he's loud, but because he's real. These introverts show us something important. You don't need to be the loudest to be seen. You don't have to change your personality to have impact. Leadership can be quiet and still be legendary. In a noisy world, being calm, kind, and grounded is a leadership style all its own. For a long time, I thought I had to act like someone I was not to become a leader. I tried to force conversations, raise my voice in meetings, and keep up with people who seemed naturally outgoing. But deep down, it drained me. I was pretending, and eventually it caught up with me. That's when I decided to stop faking it. I leaned into who I really was. I started leading through quiet confidence. I focused on listening more, understanding people better, and building stronger one-on-one connections. I used silence as a tool, not as a weakness, but as a strength. And something interesting happened. People began to notice. They paid attention, not because I was the loudest, but because I was genuine. That's when I realized leadership is not about changing who you are. It's about owning it and using it to guide others with clarity and purpose. If you're an introvert and dream of becoming a strong leader, the first thing to know is this: you don't have to change who you are. You just need to understand your strengths and use them with intention. Start by embracing silence. Quiet is not empty. It gives you mental clarity most people miss. Before meetings or important conversations, take time to prepare. Planning helps introverts perform with confidence. Focus on building one-on-one relationships. You may not enjoy large crowds, but real leadership often happens in smaller, deeper moments. Stay authentic. Don't force yourself to act extroverted. People connect more with honesty than performance. And lastly, don't underestimate your calm. In tense situations, your ability to stay steady is a leadership strength many admire. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You just need to be the one people trust when it matters most. The world does not need more noise. It needs calm minds, steady hands, and thoughtful leaders. Being an introvert is not a weakness. It's a unique strength that creates real impact. You don't have to lead like everyone else. You just have to lead like you. Quietly, honestly, powerfully. If this message resonated with you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or your own experience. And if you want more content like this on mindset, purpose, quiet leadership, and self-improvement, don't forget to subscribe. Your journey matters. Lead it your way.